Hi, everyone. I'm back. Different subject and an incredibly inspiring one at that. This brave woman who founded the movement, My Stealthy Freedom, is sitting next to me, Iranian journalist and activist Masih Alinejad. And she has made it her mission to give voice to those women who are still in Iran. For her, that mission began by taking off her hijab. It seems like a simple act, not so simple in that part of the world. And this fight has taken a very personal toll on her as well. She was jailed at the age of 19 for handing out leaflets and posting graffiti that criticized the Islamic Republic while she was pregnant with her son. In 2005, she exposed corruption in the Iranian parliament and was then banned. And she's been in political exile since 2009. Masih, welcome. It's great to have you here.
Thank you so much. I'm really happy and excited to be with Women in the World again.
It's unfortunate that that head of hair ever had to be covered. I mean, I recognized you. We were on the same flight together last night. I saw you, and I saw you as soon as I walked in today, and I said, I know her. That must be her.
Yeah, when you mentioned it's simple act, I just said to myself that with too much hair, it was not simple, because for me...
Maintaining it.
Yeah, I mean, it was not easy to control that much hair. Maybe it's just better to show you, because it's really difficult to cover this all under a scarf. I know I ruined my hair, but it's just...
It looks fabulous, and the flower is fabulous to boot. But let's talk about this incredible microphone and megaphone you've created for the women in Iran, all while being outside of the country. This hair is going to be distracting now. Tell me about the connection that you were able to make with women on this platform through social media.
No, honestly, I just was going to explain why and how I create my stealthy freedom. But let me ask a simple question. When you wanted to come here in this summit, what was the first thing that you thought about it? Your appearance, your hair, the way you look, your identity. So for me, my hair is my identity. When I hear that a lot of women who choose to wear hijab, they say that my headscarf is my identity, I believe them.
You do?
Yes, I do, because from the age of 7, I was forced to wear hijab. And when you're forced to wear hijab, when you grow up in a traditional and religious family and you wear hijab, then hijab is going to be part of your identity. Or even more, part of your body. For me, it was not even easy to take off my headscarf.
And I'm looking
because
at pictures
I loved
of
it.
You and your father, I believe.
Yeah, I loved it. And I thought, this is my identity. Such a good picture, and I missed my family. So maybe it's not good when I talk about hijab, you're showing my family's picture.
Well, I know it's very emotional for you.
It is. So for me, it was not easy to take off my hijab. When I left Iran, it took me 2 years to be unveiled in public, because I thought I'm going to just, say no to my identity. I published a picture of myself on my Facebook page, running in a beautiful street in London and feeling the wind through my hair. And I just wrote about my own experience. And I said, finally, I just found my own identity, and feeling the wind through my hair, it's good, and I love it. Simple. And then I published that on my Facebook. I received a lot of comments from Iranian women, those people who live inside Iran, talking about their hijab and their hair. Soon after, I published another picture of myself without headscarf, but that was taken inside Iran, driving down toward my hometown without headscarf. And then I said to my audiences, I'm a woman, and I know when you don't have freedom, you can create it stealthily, in secret, when the police are not around. Then I was bombarded by pictures from women, unveiled. And they had their own messages. And I said to myself, this is the time. These women need their own platform. They want to talk and express themselves, and they want to back their own identity from the
Because
government.
it symbolizes much more than just hair. Anybody who suggests that this is just a vanity fight has it all wrong. I mean, you talk about being in a hijab until you were 16, and your brother, your older brother, was able to do things and have freedoms that you were not allowed. At what point, for you and other women, obviously, who you've influenced and impacted in such a way, did that become not just a sibling rivalry, but something that symbolized much more, that men and women were not equal in your country?
Exactly. You know, when I was a little girl, I was witnessing that my brother had all the freedom. He was his true self. I lived in a small, lovely village. He could just jump on the river and enjoy, you know, the nature. He could ride a bicycle. Not me. Everything that he was free to do, I was banned to do. So for me, it's about my identity. It's about my existence. And when they force you to be someone else, that means every day you have double life. You have to lie. You have to lie to yourself. You have to lie to the society. So when I asked women to join the campaign, it was not about her. It's about empowering them to be their true selves. And when they talk about hijab issue, they are not talking about a piece of cloth. They're talking about freedom, and this is just the beginning. This is the first step toward full equality.
And other women around the world are picking up on this as well. 2 international women said they're not going to be participating and taking part in high-profile events, one of that being a chess tournament, specifically because they didn't want to wear a hijab in Iran. Michelle Obama made waves when she famously went to Saudi Arabia and wouldn't cover up her arms. You applauded that. What impact does that have for women at home when they see other women from other countries also speaking out in protest?
That means our message being heard. And this is fantastic. You know, first when I heard that Nazi Pakiza, the US chess champion, said that she's refusing to go to Iran, it breaks my heart. Because I want each of you, everyone, go and visit my beautiful country. And you might say that, so why I say a lot of bad things about Iran? I'm saying a lot of bad things about the government of Iran and the bad law, not my own country. And when I heard that Nazi Pakiza said that she's refusing to go to Iran, as I said, it breaks my heart, but it empowered me because I thought our message is heard. And she understands that going to Iran is something different to accepting a discriminatory law. By accepting, you know, the restrictive hijab law, it means that you're supporting the oppression against women. And we have been inviting all the female politicians. So far, they didn't dare to say no to compulsory hijab. But female athletes, the Indian, you know, air pistol, the shooter, and the chess champion, they said no to compulsory hijab. But let me be honest with you. These are not the female athletes who are boycotting the tournament. These are the government of Iran boycotting all women who say no to compulsory hijab. And I hear even New York Times or some you know, journalists from outside Iran saying that, you know, let's Iranian people deal with it and solve their own problem. We don't need the West to save Iranian women and talk about compulsory hijab.
And you're saying they do. And
this is wrong.
And in fact, we're seeing new, stricter rules being enforced in Iran as well. Just a few weeks ago, Iran's leader issued a new ban, and get this, this one banned women from riding a bicycle in public. Women are defying that as well, and they're speaking out, and there's a video that I want to show you of a mother and daughter.
So that's why I invited women to tell me how they feel about this. And then I was bombarded by videos. Women took their bike in public and talking directly to the supreme leader of Iran and saying with a fatwa or religious edict, we are not going to change our lifestyle. So you see, I want to say that women of Iran, they are brave enough to stand for their own rights. And
even if that means risking going to jail.
Yeah, it's a punishable crime for women to break the law. Biking in public, it means that you're saying directly to the supreme leader of Iran that we don't care what you say. We go for what we love. Or showing their hair. drinking, having party, mixed party with boys can end you up getting lashes in Iran. So these activities shows that they are doing multiple crimes in public. They are brave enough. They're doing punishable crime, but they want to be the true selves. That's why when I invite female politicians, non-Iranian tourists who go to my beautiful country, join us. Why? There are 4 actually arguments that they say the female politicians deny to join us. First, they say this is a cultural issue. Hijab is a cultural issue, and we have to respect the culture of Iran. It's wrong. How can it, you force a 7-year-old girl to wear hijab and you call it a cultural issue?
Because pre-revolution, you say that wasn't mandatory.
It wasn't. And they say that this is required by law. We don't want to break the law. We have to break the bad law to make it a respectable law. A bad law is there to be broken.
Well, you're clearly getting under the government and authorities' skin.
No, the burkini ban in France was a law as well, wasn't it? But we were loud enough to talk about it. In that time, that was not a law, and we talk about it. But when it comes to Iran, the female politicians just think about money. That's why I think they are hypocrites. When they, condemn burkini ban in France, but they go to my beautiful country and they wear hijab and they say we want to respect the law. And another thing, they said this is an internal matter. It's not. The government of Iran even forced you, the female politician, to wear hijab. It's about you. We don't want you to save us. We, the women from the Middle East, want to save the Western women. Just, to understand that this is not our culture.
Yeah, and many of my colleagues, from Ann Curry to Martha Raddatz, anytime they go to Iran to interview people in leadership roles there, they're always wearing their hijab out of respect in what they view as mandatory law. But it's clear that you're having an impact because you're getting under the skin of top leaders there as well. In fact, they've suggested in reaction to the protests and the movement you've created that you're on drugs, that you were raped, that she was raped actually because she exposed her hair and thus led.
This is the mindset of these governments. I was attacked and they said that Masih Alinejad was raped in London by 3 men. Why? Because she undressed herself. And they were not even ashamed to make my son as a witness, in my fake rape scene. So that shows that these women inside Iran who are protesting against compulsory hijab, they are brave because they're fighting with this mindset of the government of Iran. But please give me only 1 minute to talk about those women and journalists outside Iran who blame us and saying that you're sitting outside Iran and you're putting these women in danger. Can I?
Sure.
Because this is important.
I don't want to fight with you.
Recently, we got attacked by Guardian or the lefty, even New York Times, saying that a woman sitting outside Iran, encouraging women inside Iran to take off their scarf and protest against compulsory hijab. This is wrong because they are mature enough. But the most important thing is, I am a woman from the Middle East. I have experienced war in my life. 2 of my brothers were injured during the war between Iran and Iraq. I am the woman from the Middle East. And I have experienced the revolution. And after revolution, we lost our personal freedom, our social freedom. There was a huge demonstration. And when women were talking about their right, there were a lot of people saying, shh, this is not the right time to talk about women's right. Like when I was talking about my own right in my village, there were some people saying, shh, this is not the right time to talk about women's right. So I am a woman from the Middle East. I have experienced discrimination in my own life. And now, what happened? I was forced to leave my country, and I live in exile. So I have the scars of war. I have the scars of revolution. I have the scars of discrimination. And I have the scars of being in exile now. It doesn't matter where I am. Every time when I want to talk about women's rights, there are a lot of people saying, shh, not now in the Middle East, here in the West, saying, shh, Islamophobia. Donald Trump is around. This is not the right time now to talk about extremism in Islam or to talk about, the restrictive laws in Sharia laws inside Iran. So I am a woman from the Middle East. These wounds and scars make me to be a fighter, not a victim. So I don't care whether this is a time or not. We talk about women's rights every time, everywhere, and I'm not afraid of war. I'm not afraid of revolution. I'm not afraid of Donald Trump or is being labeled of Islamophobia. Because this is the government of Iran creating Islamophobia, creating Iranophobia, and we have to be loud enough. That is why I call all of you, female politicians, all female tourists who go to my country, never care about those people saying that, shh, this is not the right time. This is the right time because this is 21st century and women are forced to wear hijab from the age of 7, and the government of Iran even forced all non-Iranian women to wear hijab. And they get lashes if they say no to compulsory hijab, and they won't be able to live in their own country like me. So this is the right time to talk about your own rights.
Well, and it's very interesting, that's right. And as we conclude, it's a very interesting time to try to focus on some assessment on what President-elect Donald Trump's relationship with Iran will be. He's sent some mixed messages.
So far, our Supreme leader love him.
Well, a lot of leaders love him around the world and other dictators. But you have not spoken. You have not spoken about. No, I meant dictators, not Donald Trump. You have not spoken to your father. You got emotional when you saw his pictures. You have an adult son who's very proud of you, a husband as well. How do you reconcile that? Do you see a point where you can connect with your father in the same way that you've connected with your son and your husband?
It's not easy because I always tell myself that I shouldn't talk against my father because I love him. This is the way that he has been educated, and he has been told that I am against Islam and I am against my own country, and that's why they pushed him to push me away. But I still love him, and I have respect for him. When we have a free media inside Iran, I'm sure if he listened to me, he's going to love me again. But now, I don't know whether you understand what does it mean being in exile. You know, I haven't seen my family for 7 years. And I told myself that I'm not going to cry, never, never in public, because I'm sure that the government of Iran will use that. But the thing is, they always make us cry in our private life because they can, you know, create tension in the family. That's why I think hijab is important, because I don't have anything against with my father. And I want to be with my father and with my mother who wear hijab and walk shoulder to shoulder in my own country. But they convince my parents that when I talk about freedom of choice, that means I'm against Islam. And I cannot even get in touch directly to my family and tell them that this is not me against Islam. This is all Islamic laws, which is against me, from the age of 7. Well, and now my son, he's in my side. And there are a lot of men who are in our side. And I don't know whether I have time or not. We have Men in Hijab hashtag, which is full of hope. We invited men to wear hijab to understand how it feels when we talk about compulsory hijab.
Yeah, and I'm sure they don't like that feeling. But I know that your father and a parent's love, even though it might be tough for them to express it, far surpasses the laws of the land. So I hope one day.
To understand me.
Yes. Well, Masih, I want to thank you so much. It's been such an inspiration. By the way, she has a cold too, and she's been like nonstop talking. So it's incredible. Thank you so much for telling us your story.
I promise myself to be the voice of those voiceless people inside Iran. That's what I'm not afraid of cold as well. Yeah. Thank you so much.
And that hair. Remember this hair.
Thank you so much.